Today I'm going to show you how to run a quadratic regression on your TI-84 Plus. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to enter your data. I'm going to enter the data for g of x. So to get there, you will press Stat and then Edit, which is option 1. You can see that I have some data in here. I'm going to clear it out. I can clear it out by tabbing up and pressing clear and then enter. Same thing for L2. I'm going to tab up, press clear, and enter. If you ever want to clear all your lists at one time, the way you can do that is by pressing second and then the plus sign right above it. Do you see how it says memory plus? And then option 4 will clear all your lists all at once. So I'm just going to press it to show you. Now, I want my data entered for g of x. So to do that, you press Stat and again Edit. And in my L1, I'm going to put my x values. So -6, never use this minus sign, use the negative sign down here. -6, enter, and it will take me to my next location. 2, enter, 7, enter. Now if I tab over to L2, that's where I'm going to put my y data. 10, 3, and 8. Now I'd like to run the regression. So I'm going to quit out of my list by pressing second in mode. See right above mode it says quit. And to run the quadratic regression, you press Stat and tab over to where it says Calc. There's all kinds of options here. We want to run a quadratic regression, which is option 5. Now, mine is preloaded. You can change the list. You want to put the list in here that contains your x values. So if nothing's listed here, you would press second and then the number 1. See right above it, it says L1. That's where my x data is. But you have to have the list for your x data listed here and your y data here. Now, the frequency sections, just asking how many pieces of data I have for each list. And that defaults to 1. And that's exactly what we have, so we're going to leave it. I like my calculator to store my regression equation in my equation editor. So the way you get your calculator to do that is you want to tell it where to put it. So we press vars for variables. The variable that I want is a y variable, so I tab to y vars. And my quadratic regression is going to be a function, so I choose option 1. Now I have choices of where to put it. I'm going to put my equation into y1, so I press enter. And now everything's set up to run the regression. So all I have to do now is press calculate. And you can see that it has found the best fitting quadratic equation for my data. It lists my A value, my B value, and my C value here. Now, it has also put that equation into my equation editor. So I can see that if I press y equals, and it's already there for me. I like to be able to see how my data fit the curve. Now, I'm going to go back one moment and run that regression one more time. And I want you to see, oh, it doesn't show that. There's usually an r-squared value. For any data you enter, it will show you how good a fit it is, and 1 is perfect. Let me get that to turn on. So press second. Catalog, and I want to turn diagnostics on, so I'm going to tab way down to D's. It's going to take me a little while here. Going, going, going. Now the problem is going to be if it goes further than there. Oh, good. I didn't go past it. So I'm looking for diagnostics on. So that's diagnostics off. I want my diagnostics on. So let's turn that on and press enter. Now let's run that regression again. You can always get your calculator to do the last thing it did by pressing second in entry. But now I'm going to press it again to get back to my regression. Now you can see that r squared is 1. And what that tells you is it's a darn good fit. In fact, it's perfect. For any 3 points, there will always be a quadratic equation that fits it perfectly. Now, again, I'd like to see the plot and my curve drawn on one screen. So to get that to happen, you press second and y equals, right above there it says stat plot. I'm going to turn my plot on. Right now mine is already on. You want to make sure that's highlighted. You want to make sure the scatter plot is highlighted. Your X list is L1, your Y list is L2. And then once that happens, you can quit out of there. Now, if you press zoom and then option 9 for stat, it will graph your equation and set up the window so that you can see it very, very well. And again, you can see that that quadratic function fits my data perfectly. Now, if I'd like to estimate a value from that curve that is somewhere in my window between -6 and 7, I can do that and the calculator will tell me exactly what it is. So let's say I want to make an estimate for x equals 6 and I want to know what my y would be. To get there, you press second and then right above trace it says calc. I want to calculate something and I want to calculate a value, option 1. And you can see the x equals shows up. And I think I said I was going to estimate something for 3. So if I put in x equals 3, it's going to tell me what my y is. So this estimates that my y value will be 3.42 approximately. Now, of course, if I had written down my function with A, B, and C in it, I could put in 3 for x and get the same estimate. The issue is that if you use rounded coefficients, you're going to introduce some rounding error. It's kind of nice that your calculator takes your values out to several decimal places and it will do it for you quickly. So I hope that helps you. Have a great day.